Welcome back to Grow Joyfully Home and Garden and Garden Tour Saturday with your host, Grandma Sandy. Your co-hosts, Suffolk Susie, Pat's Garden Life, and Growing on Vancouver Island. This is an open collab that anyone can join. Just use the hashtag Garden Tour Saturday. Well, it looks like we're finding fewer and fewer things to pick. The harvests are getting smaller each time I bring them in, but we're still getting stuff. And on September 20th, that is good. We could have a frost in about 3 weeks. Generally, they call for it around the 8th or 10th of October, but it will depend on each year and how that year goes. So it could be farther away than that. It could be closer, and I guess we'll find out. I'm going to pick a few Gazante tomatoes. I've hated them this whole season, but I don't know. Look at them. They're very prolific. They grow easy. They grow well. I'm going to have to think about that one, but I do want to cut my list down considerably. I'm just so surprised that my slicers did so poorly this year. I did get several beautiful big black Krim and Dr. Wychees, but my pineapple tomatoes weren't that big. I couldn't get the gold medal and the Kellogg's breakfast to hardly even grow, and definitely not my Cherokee purples that I'm struggling with, and those are all my favorite slicers. So here's hoping that next year I do much better with my big slicer tomatoes. Today is another beautiful day, the end of the week. I've enjoyed being outside in my garden yesterday. This morning I made 2 batches of pear and red plum jelly. So that's going to be a wonderful treat for the winter when it's cold outside, and have a little bit on a piece of toast. I'm looking at my tomatoes right now out in the pasture garden, and I just picked some of the sun gold cherries, and they're looking very good. So are these Rutger tomatoes, R-U-T-G-E-R. And there's a few chocolate cherries. And those are giant crimson, which are not very giant or very crimson. But that is the tomato I have focused on, telling its story when it was pulled back from the brink of extinction by Luke Marion from M.I. Gardner. I have a couple of videos on that if you'd like to look on my playlist. This zucchini patch is looking pretty bad. It has quite a bit of powdery mildew, but it's still producing. And I'm really glad that I planted this patch later on and used the weed screen fabric. So I know that there's some yellow squash here. Here's one. And I'm pretty sure there's zucchini over there. I'll go get my scissors so I can cut them off. This plant has grown slowly. And right now I'm really glad because it's kind of new and invigorated, and it's producing quite well, where the other ones are getting really kind of old and spent. The old tired zucchini patch is still producing though. Here's another one. I forgot to put on my garden sleeves, and now I'm paying for it, so I'm going to quickly put those on. It is so much better. Now I won't get my arms poked and have them be all itchy. Here's a big zucchini in amongst the weeds. I don't think I can get my scissors down there. That is a lovely one. And here's one more. That is a lovely zucchini harvest. I definitely love this very first row of tomatoes the best. They're all the healthiest. They look a lot better than the rest of these. I'm not sure what the difference is. More water, less water. Hard to know, but they're all watered the same exact way. So I guess we'll never know, but I'm going to enjoy this immensely. I'm watering the winter wheat that my husband put on the potato patch, and the corn over there, and the cucumbers. Pretty soon I'll go over and I'll pick the cucumbers. I picked the zucchini from these patches here, and those tomatoes from those 2 rows there, which are not overly happy or healthy. But I've got a few off, so I'm very grateful for that. It's about 1 o'clock and it's 80 degrees. So that's not bad. It still feels really hot out here in the direct sun for me. But I usually get out here a lot earlier. But I'm just glad that I'm getting outside. Trying to enjoy my garden for as long as I can. Here's some more icicle tomatoes. I can't decide whether to grow them next year. They're more of a novelty than anything else. So we'll have to see next year, see how I'm feeling about them. But right now I'm loving them, and they're so cute. There's a bunch more. There are more orange Rosselinis ready. I do like these. I don't know why I do. Just kind of a large cherry tomato. Very prolific, good tasting. So pretty. I have so many green tomatoes left. I really hope it stays nice and doesn't freeze for more than 2 weeks. For longer than October 8th to the 10th, which is what they give us for our first frost date. I was telling my son that I didn't get to taste one of the big heel tomatoes because I figured it'll just keep producing. Well, it's a determinate, and usually they set their fruit all at once. But we have 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to get my wish to be able to taste these, and I will definitely grow these next year. Here's some more Berry's Crazy Cherry. Do you see how they grow? The big clusters. I think they're fascinating. I'm continually amazed how prolific this indigo apple is. It's a lovely little tomato, and you know, you just have to grow things because they're interesting, because they motivate you, because they make you want to garden. So this one definitely helps me do that. I love these terracotta grape tomatoes. They are so prolific. They're really wonderful. I'm going to include this on my lineup for next year. I think they're considered grape tomatoes, but nonetheless, they're wonderful. Typically, I would have many, many, many more pounds of tomatoes. So this has been a slow year. This has been a different year. When you have 9 cattle panels full, plus the ones in the main garden, you would certainly expect more, but this is what I'm getting, and there's no 2 ways about it. You get what you get. Now these were in the rainbow cherry pack, so I don't know exactly what they are. They don't seem dark enough to me to be sun gold cherries. The paste tomatoes in general have done quite well, so I'm very grateful for that, to fill that hole. That has turned out to be a very nice harvest. It was really nice being out there in the main garden today, picking, harvesting, tying back, watering. I need to start fertilizing again. I think they just get very hungry this time of year, especially the pots, because it just drains through. So they do need a good feed every now and then, more often than you think. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for your support. I love watching your videos too, and I love to support you. So we will see you on the next video. Have a great day.